6 or 233-477-487, 653-560196, 677-856768.
Welcome back. That, of course, tells you it's time to meet and talk to Emmanuel Shiangong. Well, he does most of the talking because he gives all the advice. So it's time for him to talk to you, to talk to us, because, like I said, he gives us great advice. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm good, and you?
Great. It's nice to see you, though. You were a bit off.
Yes, I know.
C'est des cadeaux que les parents ont laissés pour l'humanité dont on s'en sert ici aujourd'hui. Donc si on ne l'avait pas eu comme cadeau, on ne serait pas en train de vous apporter à chaque fois qu'on a l'occasion, tout ce qu'il a bénéficié comme éducation et comme expérience dans le monde entier. Donc merci d'être encore des nôtres aujourd'hui, Emmanuel.
Hi, Christian.
Ça va très bien, ça va très bien aujourd'hui.
Alors, you had a hectic weekend.
Yeah,
a weekend.
Very eventful.
Oui.
Yeah, it's very eventful. I mean, that's a good thing.
Yes.
You know, lots and lots of things to do.
C'est vrai. Bon, mais ça va aller.
Okay.
Alors, qu'est-ce que vous souhaitez laisser à l'humanité aujourd'hui, coach Emmanuel Shiangong? On était que je l'appelle comme ça.
Des fois, je vous laisse dans tes inspirations.
Oui.
Parce que je ne sais pas d'où ça vient, mais ça doit forcément apporter quelque chose.
Alors, je vais peut-être, si tu permets, Manda.
Oui.
Of course.
Comme tu me dis, very eventful.
Very eventful.
Yes.
Alors, j'étais justement à un événement samedi.
Oui.
Une mamie, 60 ans mardi dernier, qui a eu ses 60 ans mardi dernier. Et dans notre législation, à 60 ans, il faut partir en retraite. Elle a donc pris sa retraite juste après avoir célébré ses 60 ans. Donc, elle a fait une bonne fête chez elle. C'était samedi. Départ en retraite, finalement. C'est une nouvelle vie qui commence pour elle. Alors, comment doit-elle la vivre? Voir cette retraite comme une sanction, parce que pour certains aussi, ça sonne comme tel, ou alors comme une nouvelle vie. Qu'est-ce qui doit rentrer maintenant dans la vie de ce nouvel être qui n'ira plus travailler aujourd'hui? Comment devrait-elle prendre soin d'elle pour continuer de rester aussi longtemps encore?
Ok, moi je pense que d'abord pour cette maman, elle est formidable. La retraite, c'est un mot qui peut porter plusieurs définitions. Et ça dépend de celui qui définit et dans quel état, dans quelle phase de sa vie celui-là se trouve. On est toujours en retraite. Et il y a des retraites variables. Celui-ci, c'est une sorte de définition du code de travail à laquelle est attaché plusieurs autres éléments qui ont des influences différentes sur différentes personnes. Moi, je pense qu'on a une vie tout simplement sur la Terre et que si on décide qu'on va appeler certaines naissances, certains anniversaires, certains adolescents, certains adultes, tout ça c'est juste des façons par lesquelles l'homme essaye d'accompagner sa vie d'une façon organisée en s'inspirant des différentes thèses que les précédents ont mis en place pour expliquer pourquoi nous avons certains échecs et certains réussis dans la vie. Oui. Et nous verrons qu'avec le temps, toutes ces différentes thèses ont été remises en question et des fois modifiées. Certains qui ont servi aujourd'hui ne sont plus adaptés. Donc, si on est dans ce contexte, je me dis pour cette dame qu'elle a voulu respecter le cadre de droit de travail qui dit qu'après 60 ans, il faut aller en retraite. Si elle le fait parce qu'elle estime qu'elle a réussi à accomplir sa mission à la société, à tous ceux qui ont bénéficié de ces services, je pense que c'est une raison louable pour chaque personne de pouvoir regarder en arrière et ne pas avoir de regrets et plutôt de joie dans le cœur de savoir que j'ai accompli ma mission. Dans ce cas, c'est bon. Mais pour dire que c'est la fin de je ne sais pas quoi, pour moi, il y a la fin de rien, il y a une continuité, il y a juste les phases qui changent. Elle devait juste dire cette phase a été accomplie et maintenant, il y a une autre phase qui commence. Et que sincèrement, il n'y a aucune frontière entre les deux phases. Parce que ce que nous faisons dans ce qu'on a fait phase, je dis toutes ces choses sont des illusions qu'on a créées pour pouvoir peut-être communiquer et fonctionner. Mais on n'est même pas obligé de communiquer comme ça. J'entre dans le jeu quand même. Je voulais dire, tout ce que vous allez faire dans les secondes et les jours qui suivent, c'est l'inspiration de tout ce qui s'est passé c'est-à-dire tout ce que vous amenez d'hier vous servira aujourd'hui. C'est un que vous regrettez qui sert comme leçon, c'est un que vous appréciez, que vous allez intégrer et peut-être peaufiner et améliorer.
I like that you talk about what you bring from yesterday's, what you're going to carry into the next day, because you know people talk a lot about planning for your retirement so that there's a continuity. Because unfortunately, statistics have shown that some people fall into depression actually. When they get to their retirement, they get depressed because they have not planned, so they don't know what to do. Some people start over drinking, some, you know, so it's a whole issue that society is trying to look at right now.
Okay, we have these situations where when a minister is put in place in our country, they organize a feast, and the national television goes to their homes, and their wives are happy, they are celebrating, relatives are happy, and the community is happy. And some of them also are very happy and they celebrate. Sometimes you will ask, what are you celebrating before the job is done? So this is somebody who is celebrating after the job has been done. And I said, this person is certainly looking back, I suppose, and saying, I met my objectives. And it wasn't really that obvious. I think I have a special grace, and maybe I'm giving thanks to all those who made it possible, my family, my colleagues, and so on. And then you say, come together, I just want to say thank you. The feasting may come in to highlight it. This is different. But what I'm trying to point out is that when you go into a job to serve, and you serve, you only come out blessed. You come out with the receiving of what you gave. Okay, if you are at a job without a purpose, without an objective, you were given a job which you did not sit an interview for. You went through a job because you were considered favored because you belong to something else than competence and qualified for the job. Of course, you will do any type of thing in that place, and you will not look at where it's getting forward to at the end. Sometimes you are surprised that it comes to an end. It is not only with job, it is also with life itself. If you were to tell somebody that you are going to die tomorrow, most people may go into a depression. But some person may say, let me look back at what my setup is like, and let me do the transition before tomorrow. You know, put things in order, give some instructions and so on, so that I can be sure that there is continuity. We have many cases of I'm a terminal disease counselor, and I have cases of people who know that the medical and every indication says that they may die. I like to say they may die because we can't say you will die. It will come to everybody, but time is not our mastery here. So these people most often say, well, if that's what it is, let me do a transition. Some people will die before the date because they go into a panic and they get depressed and so on and so on. All of that depends on how you have lived your life.
Your lifestyle.
Was it a life with purpose? Did you come in to contribute, to give, or you came to take? If you came to take at all costs, of course you will give immediately before you go, and that can be very painful. If you came to give, then you will have the grace of deserving a transition to what those who give consider a higher level of existence, which is your spiritual realm. And you are nourished in that realm by the job you have been doing on the earth, because we come into a body to be tested, to be tried, to be put to a challenge. And we have the opportunity to move into a higher level when we are challenged, and we come out more humble, more efficient, more accepting of the challenges, and more humble with the results. And so we never really celebrate anything. We just look at the grace with which we are called to meet a tougher challenge, in quotes, and to come out of that challenge with another grace to keep on going. So these are the pictures. In the case of jobs, we have never seen a job as an opportunity to bring grace to people's lives. If you want to become the governor of this province and you go into a campaign, generally what you say to win the election is that I will improve on your lives.
Tout à fait.
If you go into a campaign and you say, by the time I am 10 days in office, I will destroy all of you. Nobody will vote you, not even your own father and mother, because in the course of destruction, even your parents may fall in the list, consciously or unconsciously. Or, you know, what I'm trying to point out is that you make some promises on the good that you will do. On your inauguration speech, you reiterate your desire to keep that. And then people come with that expectation. That expectation they come with is an energy that is supposed to nourish your journey. So when they come in and they get the opposite, there is an energy blockage. And in your activity, you don't more receive the support. It doesn't matter if there are people standing around you, they are not with you, and they are acting, because visually you would say you were not with me. So what I'm trying to point out here is that a job is a service which brings blessings to the people who receive that service. When I go into the salon to do a hair, I am grateful that in the end I receive some payment for that. But the first challenge is that my client should leave this salon looking and feeling better than they came. That is what I call a grace. If they go out looking better and feeling better, they will certainly be nice people, and they will certainly treat people nicely on that day, at least on that day. And so there has been an avalanche effect from me to her and to the other people, and in that way life is improved. Then when clients realize that this service brings them habit that brings good to people, and people appreciate that, they will come back for more of such service. It's just like the car. The car keeps going to the fueling station because they meet their objective of carrying people around. So it's simply like that. So at some point, when you realize that by the forces of things, you cannot more wash the hair, you will be happy to sit down and talk about washing hair, how you washed it so well, how you did it so well, and the good it did to people. And that is just another phase of washing hair, talking about how hair is washed to people, even for evening entertainment, storytelling, and people say, what a wonderful story it was.
It's your new life.
Yes, the blessing continues. And you keep moving on from one to the other, and there will be a time when you're happy not to talk.
Yeah.
Because you think, I've said it all.
Right. So what I'm taking from this is there's no better way to prepare for any transition, retirement, or whatever it is than living a fulfilling life, serving others, making peace with yourself, and making peace with God. Thank you very much. Your words always go straight to our hearts, and we take your advice very seriously.
See you jeudi.
Yes, Thursday, God willing.
So, dear viewers, see you tomorrow at 7.
See you tomorrow.